I'm James, a 22-year-old wanderer with a camera, a backpack, and a hunger for stories. My latest adventure? Delhi, India, a city pulsing with life, where the streets hum with rickshaws, hawkers, and the sizzle of food stalls. I'm here to make a documentary about Indian street food for folks back home who've never tasted a dosa or smelled cumin roasting on a tawa. Buckle up. This is my journey, and it's a wild, delicious ride. Delhi hit me like a monsoon. The air was thick with spice, sweat, and possibility. I'd eaten street food in Bangkok and Mexico City, but India felt different, intimidating, chaotic, magical. My mission was simple. Dive into Delhi's street food scene, camera in hand, and share its soul with the world. But standing in Chandni Chowk, surrounded by vendors shouting Pani Puri and Aloo Tikki, I felt like a fish out of water. Could I handle the heat, literal and figurative, of this culinary quest? I'll be honest, I hesitated. The crowds were overwhelming, the hygiene questionable. A guy frying samosas in a wok of bubbling oil looked like he hadn't cleaned his stall since the Mughal era. My stomach churned at the thought of eating something that could send me running for a bathroom. I considered sticking to a safe hotel buffet, but then I remembered why travel. To taste the world, risks and all. I couldn't back out now. Enter Raju, a chaiwala with a grin as warm as his steaming kettle. I met him at a tiny stall near Jama Masjid, where he handed me a kulhad of milky chai. "You want real Delhi food?" he asked, eyeing my camera. "Follow the people, not the guidebooks." Raju became my guide, pointing me to the best stalls and teaching me the art of eating street food. Trust your nose, watch the locals, and don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. With Raju's advice, I plunged into old Delhi's alleys. My first stop was a Pani Puri cart. The vendor, a wiry man named Anil, filled crisp puri shells with spicy tamarind water and mashed potatoes. I popped one in my mouth and boom, an explosion of tangy, fiery, sweet flavors. My eyes watered, but I couldn't stop grinning. This was it, the Real Delhi, alive in every bite. I was all in. The street food scene tested me. At Paranthi Walligali, I tried parathas stuffed with everything from paneer to cauliflower, each one greasier and spicier than the last. My tongue burned, but the locals cheered me on, shouting, "One more." I made allies, vendors who share their stories, like Meena, who'd been making jalebis for 20 years, her hands steady as she swirled batter into hot oil. But enemies? My own stomach. After a plate of fiery chole bhature, I spent an hour praying I'd survive the spice. Spoiler, I did. My biggest challenge came at a roadside dhaba in Carol Bagh. The dish? Pav bhaji, a spicy vegetable mash served with buttery bread. It looked harmless, but the vendor warned me. This one's for the brave. I hesitated, camera shaking, as I scooped up a bite. The heat hit like a freight train, but beneath it was a symphony of flavors. Tomato, garlic, chili, love. This was the heart of Delhi's food. Bold, unapologetic, unforgettable. The real ordeal wasn't the spice. It was the pressure to capture all. I wanted my documentary to do justice to these vendors, their craft, their lives. One night, filming a kebab stall in Nizamuddin, I fumbled my camera settings and lost an hour of footage. I felt like a failure. But the kebabwala, Imran, just laughed and handed me a Sikh kebab. "Make it better tomorrow," he said, His kindness reminded me, this journey wasn't just about the film. It was about the people. By week's end, I'd tasted Delhi's soul. Crispy kakoris, creamy lassi, smoky tandoori chicken. But the real reward was the connections I'd made. Raju, Anil, Meena, Imran. They weren't just vendors. They were storytellers, artists, survivors. My footage was raw and real, filled with their laughter and wisdom. I'd come for food, but found something deeper, a shared humanity, served on a paper plate. As I edited my documentary in a tiny Delhi guest house, I realized the challenge wasn't over. How do you condense a city's chaos and beauty into a film? I stayed up nights, splicing clips of sizzling tikkas and crowded markets, weaving in Raju's advice and Meena's smile. My goal was clear: make the audience feel what I felt. The thrill of discovery, the warmth of strangers. The final test came when I screened a rough cut for Raju and the vendors. My heart pounded as they watched. Would they feel seen? When the screen faded, they clapped, hugged me, and demanded I eat more samosas. Raju said, "You showed our Delhi." That was my resurrection. Not just a filmmaker, but a bridge between worlds, sharing India's heart with those who'd never walk its streets. Back home, I tried Indian street food online. Comments poured in. I could almost taste the pani puri. Booked a ticket to Delhi. But the real elixir? The lesson I carried back. Food is more than taste. It's culture, connection, courage. Every bite in Delhi taught me to embrace the unknown, to trust the hands that feed you, to find joy in the unexpected. And that's a story worth sharing.